Well, listen up. College students beware. As students take out billions of dollars in loans for college, they need to be on the lookout for fraudsters scheming to steal some of that cash. Financial professor Elijah Kovar from Great Waters Financial joins us with some of the top scams that are specifically targeting college students. Now, why are we seeing college students be the target here?
Well, first of all, they're out on their own for the very first time.
Right.
And a lot of students, that makes them an easy target. The scammers know that this is their first time really handling money. A lot of them are naive, and frankly, it just makes it easy for somebody to get their personal information or whatever it may be. Problem is right now, identity theft is the fastest growing crime in America. Over $5 billion were stolen last year. 9.9 million Americans were affected, and a lot of them are students.
And there's some statistics say that the people in the age range of 20 to 29, specifically, that is really the target.
Yeah, the federal FTC came out with a poll last year that said they're among the most frequently targeted victims of this type of crime. Wow.
So you have 5 scams that you're really seeing quite often. First one, Bogus Student Tax.
Yes.
What would this be?
So there's a tax, if anybody didn't know about it, called the Federal Student Tax, and it's fake. Here's what's happening.
Completely fake.
Yeah, it's completely fake. So a student will get a call, and their caller ID says IRS or a federal government agency. It's fake. They're manipulating the caller ID. So they think they're talking to the government or the IRS. They get the call, and then somebody on the other end of the line is threatening them, saying, you have to pay this tax. If you don't wire money right now, we're going to send police to your house. They're going to arrest you, or they're going to revoke your driver's license. All these threats. So students, they've got money in their account, maybe for the first time from student loans. They freak out, they wire the money, and they find out that it wasn't even a real tax.
Wow.
The thing to remember is the IRS will never call you demanding payment over the phone.
Right. Don't pay them over the phone. Call back. They'll contact you through the mail, anything else but a call.
Yes, they're always going to send written notice first, always.
Oh, gosh. What about the second one, tuition scam? This is a little different.
Yeah, it's very similar. So someone calls the student, says, we're from the admissions department. If you don't pay right now, your tuition...
So instead of the IRS, now it's your school calling.
Yep, we're from your college, the admissions department. If you don't pay right now, you're behind on your tuition. We're going to drop you from your classes. So the students give them their money over the phone. This one's easy. Hang up the phone, call your admissions department, and ask them where you're at.
Okay, that's easy enough. What about fake credit cards? We've all seen the booths pop up around campus where you're filling out, your personal information, but those may be fake if you're not careful?
Well, yes, and unfortunately, that makes people a really easy target. Okay, so we have kids going out there writing their name, their social security number on a piece of paper and handing it to somebody they don't know. A lot of these are legitimate, but many of them, it turns out they're out there just collecting people's information, then they're going and using it to open up credit cards that the student never receives, and they're racking up charges on that person's credit, ruining their credit. So they go to school, they invest all this time, all this money to get a degree so they can go out and get a good job. Then they leave college and their credit's ruined and they can't get hired at this type of job. So number one recommendation, go to your dorm room on a secured, password-protected internet connection and research the type of credit card that you want.
Okay.
Make sure you're on a secure website when you actually apply for that credit card.
Don't be tempted by the T-shirt or whatever it is they're trying to give you when you sign up.
Yes.
What about this false rental listing?
Yeah, now this one is one that impacts people specifically that are typically renting an apartment at a college out of town. So they'll hop online, they'll look for all the details, then they find a really attractive apartment, and it's at a great price, so they say, hey, I want to apply, they get their application in, the landlord says, listen, I have other people that want to take this spot, get your deposit in right away and I'll hold it for you. So they send them their money, then when they go to move into the apartment doesn't exist.
Oh,
there's no landlord to be found, the number's been canceled, somebody just took their money and ran. Number one recommendation for this is go and see the apartment inside and out, meet the landlord in person before you ever give anybody your money.
And unfortunately we're running out of time, but the last one is friendly fraud. Be careful of your roommate and who you're letting in the dorm and the personal information you're
lock it
out.
Up or leave it with your parents at home.
Yeah, maybe mom, dad, get them a shredder. Get a shredder in your dorm room. That would help some of this too.
Absolutely.
And help with parents too, giving some guidance on some of this and some of those reminders before you head
off.
off.
You need to talk to your kids about this stuff.
All right, Elijah, thank you so much. Good information. We appreciate it.